What is up, guys? San Diego Comic-Con Preview Day is here, what I am dubbing Day 0 of the convention, because it actually doesn't officially start until tomorrow, but today is Preview Day, and we're already getting brand new reveals from Jada Toys, so this is super exciting. If you guys like this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe. We're on the way to 1,000 subscribers, and we are getting so close. But today we're going to be looking at one of the two new reveals that they put out for the convention for the preview day. They also put out new prototypes for their Alpha 3 figures as well as for their Cyberpunk Edgerunners line, and this stuff is looking really good. So let's go ahead and jump into this and break down all the stuff we've seen so far. So first off, we have the reveal of Omni-Man for their Invincible line. This is big news. A lot of people will be talking about this one because the Invincible line has been a highly anticipated action figure line from Jada Toys since they showed it off last year. We have Wave 1 coming here by the end of the year, should be dropping in November. So we expected to see some reveals from Invincible here at the convention. Now, I myself was not expecting to see them reveal any of these Invincible characters until later in the convention because, you know, these are going to be some of the biggest news coming out of Jada Toys, I think, for this San Diego Comic-Con. But as I predicted in my recent video where we predicted what's coming next for both Alpha and Invincible, kind of the obvious pick, but I'm happy to see that they're doing it because everyone has been asking on the comments of every Invincible post. Everyone wants to know where is Omni-Man, and we're finally seeing him here in early prototype form, and I gotta say, already in prototype form, he is looking fantastic. The great representation of Omni-Man. I like the definitions in the muscle. The paint looks nice and vibrant. The head sculpt looks great. Like, this is looking like much further along of a prototype than an early prototype. Heck, we might be seeing Wave 2 come much sooner after Wave 1 than we usually do. But yeah, this Omni-Man is looking so good. Can't wait to see the other reveals we have for the Invincible line. We're also seeing here the in-package finalized versions of Wave 1, and these look great. I actually really love the size of the window, nice and clear. You can see the figure well, you can see all of the accessories, and it's really cool that they did that blood splatter effect on the plastic window. Really cool. Jada Toys usually always kills it with their packaging, and this is no exception. So great work there. Really loving to see this out of Jada Toys, and I think a lot of people are going to be very hyped for this Invincible line as it continues to move forward. But yeah, super hyped for this Omni-Man. Can't wait to see what we have left in store for the Invincible line. But let's move forward because we are also getting brand new looks at the Street Fighter Alpha 3 figures. We've seen prototypes. The last time we've actually seen prototypes for these was New York Comic-Con, the end of last year. So it's nice to see some updates to these figures. We don't have a ton of changes here, so we're going to look at these side by side just to get a detailed look as to what has changed since the last time we've seen these. But I wanted to also focus on this diorama. Look at all this great space that we're seeing. Really great diorama built straight from the game to display these figures. And I just wanted to point out how much room you're seeing here on this Alpha 3 diorama. You know, plenty of room to display off at least one full wave of brand new prototypes. So I'm hoping that over the weekend, over the next 2 days, we see them put out 3 or even more figures from this Alpha line. But these are looking really good, guys. This Ryu, I think, has had the most improvements out of all the figures that we're seeing here from Wave 1 of Alpha 3. We're seeing updates to Charlie as well, even though Charlie is probably the closest to the last prototype that we saw, the last prototype version of him. And then we're also getting some slight changes to Chun-Li that we'll take a closer look here, because there's some things that I'm not loving about the updates for this Chun-Li, but this wave is looking really solid. I'm really liking the more cartoony, like game accurate proportions for these. They have like the big feet, the big hands. They're looking really cool. I would love to see these continue to be polished before we get them as releases or pre-orders, which I imagine we will see. These will probably be keep being updated until we get that pre-order drop, which I imagine is going to come sometime at like the end of this year. So yeah, I think we do see updates to these at New York Comic-Con come November, and that's probably when we also see the pre-orders drop. But every time I see these, I'm liking them more and more, and I think Jada Toys is taking a really interesting stylistic choice with these figures, and one that I think they kind of have to take to separate themselves from the competition, but a really cool sort of in-game interpretation of these characters. Now let's go ahead and look at Ryu. You can see this is the last prototype we saw, the end of last year. I'm liking the updates to the face here. The face is so much better in this brand new prototype. I'm liking that. You can also see that they are adjusting the proportions of the arms. The last prototype, you can see he had like fairly long forearms to upper arms, which was looking a little funny, but here in the brand new prototype, you can see they've adjusted that quite a bit, and these proportions are looking a lot better. You can also see in the earlier prototype, like his upper torso was like big and wide compared to his legs, and here it looks a lot more balanced in the newer prototype, which is coming from the tooling, if the sources or the things that I've heard are correct. So these brand new prototypes are going to be close to final versions. I just think we see them slightly more polished as we move forward. Now Charlie is the one who looks similar to his prototype out of the three. I think we're seeing just more definition, deeper sculpt in the chest and the abs and the arms, which I'm really liking. Of course, updates to the color, the vibrancy in the colors of this new prototype are looking really good. I like this face sculpt. Now, this is a different face sculpt than the one we saw in the last prototype, but I am liking this new version compared to the older prototype. We're also seeing here he has his removable glasses. He's going to have his chain, and yeah, he's just looking really clean. I'm liking this aesthetic for Charlie, and it'll be interesting to see what they continue to update. I will say one thing on this that is standing out to me is the diaphragm cut. The upper diaphragm cut is a fairly sharp cut. It'll be interesting to see if it looks like it has been updated from the last prototype where it was much more simplified, so they're adding some shape to that. I think I would maybe just like to see that tapered even a little bit more to give it more of a naturalized look, but everything else I'm really digging about this Charlie. Looking really good. Again, can't wait to see final polishing details and final versions come end of this year. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Chun-Li. Chun-Li is looking pretty much the same. I don't see much of a change to her. I think they might have lengthened her legs just a little bit, made her slightly taller. It is hard to tell because she's like standing up straight versus kind of in a crouching pose in the older prototype. I'm liking the colors in this new one, much more accurate, especially in the hair. But yeah, the only thing that I'm not loving the face of this new Chun-Li. It's kind of hard to see in this photos, but up close she kind of looks like she just bit into a lemon, like she has like a sour puckered face. So that's an interesting choice. I'm hoping we get some more refinement to the face of this Chun-Li, because the proportions and everything else I'm really liking of this Chun-Li from Alpha 3 out of Jada. So yeah, I think that this is a solid wave for their first wave of Alpha 3 figures, and I can't wait to see what they have in store for reveals for the rest of the Alpha 3 line. I'm expecting wave 2. Again, all of that room on that diorama. They have plenty of room to add figures to that. Heck, it would be crazy if we saw even more prototypes past wave 2, but I'm digging this. I'm liking where they're going with this alpha line. And of course, this is the updated articulation. These things are going to pose in incredible ways. If you've seen how the Invincible figures have been posing in some of the early in-hand reviews, these figures are just going to be a ton of fun. So yeah, looking forward to that. They also had a full display of all 19 Street Fighter II figures with the defeated heads on each one. And this is just a really cool display to see just all of the figures there all together. You know, they've kind of always done this at cons, had, you know, a large roster of figures, but I don't think they've ever shown every single figure they've released from Street Fighter II all at once before. And I mean, look at that. 3 years we got the entire Street Fighter II roster, and I mean, that is just a huge accomplishment for Jada Toys, and I can't wait to get the last two to complete my Street Fighter II roster collection as well. So yeah, really cool to see that, and again, can't wait to see what they have else in store for us from Street Fighter and the Street Fighter line. Now, we also got looks for the updated Cyberpunk Edgerunners figures. You know, we hadn't seen these displayed in the last few conventions. People were wondering if these were canceled, if they had lost the license, but I'm happy to see that we're seeing the second wave of Cyberpunk Edgerunners figures with the updated articulation. So that was a part of the delay, is that we're updating these from the old articulation system to the entirely new 2.0 articulation system, and these things are just looking so dang good. Mane is big and imposing with the soft goods, with the improved articulation. Going to be an awesome figure. Of course, Atom Smasher, now seeing him with some articulation, carrying that huge gun with the blast effect piece. That thing is just looking so freaking sweet. A lot of people are really excited for this Atom Smasher. And of course, the fan favorite Rebecca. Everyone's been asking, where's the Rebecca? We need Rebecca from Cyberpunk, and we're finally seeing her here with updated articulation, and hopefully we'll get some closer looks, but she's looking really good. We are also seeing in package Mane and Rebecca, so these are the finalized forms, and I expect to see pre-orders for these going up sometime very soon. I would not be surprised if they drop next week sometime for Mane and Rebecca pre-orders. But check this out, guys. Look at how loaded that Rebecca package is. Just tons of accessories there. I couldn't get a clear picture to make out everything that was included there, but different hands, different robotic hands, tons of different face plates and head sculpts, and everything that you need for a awesome Rebecca figure. Can't wait to add this one to my collection. So yeah, great to see that Cyberpunk is back, that it isn't going anywhere, and that these are close to, if not already finalized versions that should be going up for pre-order here pretty soon. But you know, there's other reveals that I didn't touch on this video. We got a brand new figure reveal for Scooby-Doo. We got brand new looks at Mega Man's next wave. We also have all kinds of other new stuff, as well as an entirely new IP that is supposed to be revealing here in the next couple of days. So yeah, just a ton of news. If you guys like this kind of stuff, if you want to be updated and stay up to date with all the new stuff from Jada Toys coming out of San Diego Comic-Con, be sure to subscribe, as I will be making a brand new video every single day talking about what's new, what we've seen. And guys, tomorrow is the official start of San Diego Comic-Con. We have the Jada Toys panel where they will be showing a bunch of brand new reveals. We also have all kinds of other stuff, as well as the exclusives from Jada Toys dropping tomorrow morning. So if you don't know about those, or if you're curious, I have done a breakdown on my channel for all three exclusives that will be releasing tomorrow morning, which are the Player 2 Akuma, the Defeated Head accessory pack, and the Battle Damaged Invincible. So if you're wanting to get a hold of those, check out my earlier videos breaking all of those exclusives down, which includes how to get your hands on them. But that's wrapping it up, guys, for Day 0 Preview Day. We're already getting new stuff. We're already getting hyped, so I cannot wait to see what else we have in store for San Diego Comic-Con. But thanks for spending some time with me here today, guys. We will continue the coverage as it drops. I will see you in the next one.